back this summer again. Thank goodness. The Ohio State Reformatory out there in Mansfield. July 19, 20, and 21 is when it's going to go down. 3 stages, 3 days of music. Shinedown and Godsmack and Breaking Benjamin and The Offspring and Chevelle. Many, many more. Seven Dust is coming back if you missed them a few weeks back. And more than 115 tattoo artists and haunted attractions. You can't have one without the other. Single day and weekend passes are on sale, starting at $10 down. Incarceration.com for the details. I got GA weekend passes for you for the whole thing. Good luck. Caller 10. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Who needs broadcasting awards?
The I Like the Sound of My Own Voice award.
When you've won World's Sexiest and 5 years in a row.
And the winner is
Alan Cox.
On 100.7 WMMS.
How about that Dickie Barrett, huh?
Oh, great. That was so fun.
Feel bad because I left Mary out, but
It's okay.
I figured she was off doing something else. She could.
Well, also, it was like, you guys killed it. I'd be chiming in like, have you heard of Fallout Boy? I saw them recently. Like,
What is happening around
Everywhere
here?
on-
No, that would have been good. Hey, have you ever heard?
I didn't have a place in that conversation anyway. You guys did great.
You've seen. Maybe you could have brought up the movie Clueless because they're the band in that.
Nope.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot about that. I mean, they were together so long. You know, I probably could have done 2 more segments doing a deep dive, but I also want to talk about the new band, too.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, so anyway, The Defiant is
I think it was a
Dickie's
good
band.
balance.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. Again, I haven't talked to the guy in 25 years, but we were both much younger men then. Your Cleveland Guardians are still in Boston, still going to play Fenway. Tonight is the second of 4. They cleaned their clocks yesterday on that Patriots Day game. Tonight, 7:10 here on MMS. So we'll roll, get you right into pregame about 6:35 tonight. Guardians are looking good out of the gate for the season. So 7:10 tonight on MMS, and you can listen on the iHeartRadio app. If you listen to us there on the app, you can leave messages anytime you like. A little talkback button there.
Alan, Rich down in Jacksonville, Florida, listen back to the podcast, and Mary's discussing her octopus tattoo that goes up towards her butt. I had a question about a previous tattoo she was discussing about the last voicemail her father had left. She wanted to get it tattooed, but then she mentioned it to her brother, and her brother mentioned that he wanted to get it. Just curious if she ever did anything with that idea, or she just let her brother take it. Anyways, hate the show. Bye.
Was that the sound wave, the waveform?
Yeah, it was like the sound wave of my dad saying "love you, bye," and I loved the idea of it. And then I took it to the girl who does my tattoos, and she was like, "It's a great idea, but really fine lines that are that close together." She's like, "It's gonna blur over time."
Right.
She's like, "It's not gonna look good in 20 years. It's just gonna look like a big blob on your arm." Which I'm glad she told me that instead of just being like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take your money and do the tattoo." She was like, "These ones can be really, really difficult, no matter how good you are."
It's not going to read well after a while.
Yeah, it's just not gonna hold up. So nobody got that one.
So instead, octopus.
Octopus.
When is Octopus Day, by the way, for the tattoo?
May 25th.
Oh, May 25th.
Yeah.
All right.
5 weeks out.
Mm-hmm.
And you're coming home for that?
I'm coming home for that.
That's a Saturday afternoon.
I have a show in Columbus that Thursday, and then if you'll have me in the studio, we can all broadcast together on Friday.
Hey! Yeah.
And then tattoo Saturday and head back to New York Sunday.
Nice. It's going to be you and Ian Bagg in studio that day.
Ooh,
I might have a little
nice.
something for us on that Saturday night.
Pizza?
Weed?
No, show.
Oh. Okay.
Possibly a rooftop show. So we'll see.
Oh.
A roofie show? What'd you say?
Rooftop.
Oh, rooftop show.
Don't you try and get me into making a joke that I'm not making.
He figured it out. He didn't take the bait.
And you got 2
This
Dickie
guy.
Barrett segments, which was like you got basically a pass on 2 segments.
Boy, you see the lifeline I threw him, by the way? Woo, doggy.
Don't tell Dickie Barrett that's why you kept around for another segment.
No, it was just a happy coincidence. No, usually I'll keep guests for one segment, but I love Dickie. He's great.
It was cool. It was I was listening. I had the show up while I was in my studio. It was cool to hear just his story and all the stuff he's done, and it's crazy.
Yeah. They have announced Kevin Hart. And I'm so used to Kevin Hart doing massive venues that I didn't even really pay attention. I just assumed that he was going to be doing the Romo Fijo. He's doing the State Theater.
Isn't it only like 3,500 seats?
Something like that.
Didn't he? Because he came here last year and did the.
I thought he did the arena last time.
He did Romo Fijo last time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I assume.
And then he did the stadium, too.
The football stadium?
Down in.
Not here.
In Canton.
Oh.
The one that, like, Bill Burr's done it there. Chappelle's done it there.
Yeah, that Hall of Fame stadium. Yeah.
And I think that's where Bert's Tops Off tour, or no, not Tops Off, whatever. The festival one that he does.
Mm-hmm. Lights Out. Tops Off, Lights Out, whatever it's called.
One of those.
Yeah, one of those. So, yeah, he's people who like Kevin Hart, he is doing the State Theater.
Only one show?
Well, let me see.
That doesn't make sense.
He's doing Friday, November 15th.
This might just be like his way of doing a workout room. Like
everybody else
he's
doing
like, I want to do
open mics.
something small, so I'll just do this giant theater, but I just need to go out there with a notepad.
Well, that's what I assumed. I was like, this is him getting ready for the next special or whatever. He's working it down in small rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Acting My Age tour. And I was looking at the other
Also,
tour.
it might have just been availability.
Well, I thought about that. And
Because if it's November, you got Monsters and Guardians games.
Well,
so that's tough to – not Monsters. Monsters and Cavs games are using Romo Fijo. And then it's also a very busy concert. So it might
that's
just be
why
like –
I checked their schedule over at the Romo Fijo. There's nothing there that night.
But even if there's not anything there that's shown, there might be something that hasn't been announced yet.
Well, I looked at his tour dates, and most of them look like they're smallish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's just wanted to do theaters again.
Work out some theaters.
I mean, Seinfeld's always been able to do bigger venues, but he's always preferred a theater over an arena.
Like the Grog Shop.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'll get there one day.
Yeah. So if you're a Kevin Hart fan, those tickets are going to be on sale. What's today? The 16th? Those are on sale tomorrow morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, like the pre-sale, all that crap. Friday at 10 a.m. KevinHartNation.com. That's where you'll be able to buy them. But come to Cleveland in November to play the State Theater over at Playhouse Square.
I watched his first two, Laugh at My Pain, and I'm a Grown Little Man.
This is his 9th.
Maybe I saw 3 then. What was the one where he talks about his uncle getting out of jail?
Jail Uncle.
No.
Oh.
Unky
that's
Jail
it.
Jail?
Yeah, jail.
No, Unky
No, I've
Jail
seen
Jail.
Oh, Unky Jail. No.
He did the Reality Check tour. He did the What Now tour. He did the...
No, I'm not saying
I
the
don't know.
tours, his specials.
Oh, specials. I don't know. 0 F's given?
No, I don't think I saw that one. I saw the hit these bitches with some fire, and I stopped watching after that.
That was the name of the
no, that's
of
how
the special?
He was doing it at...
He was doing pyro.
He was
I
doing
see.
pyro because he did it at where the Philadelphia Eagles play.
Oh, right.
So it's
He's
a
like
big
the first guy to
stadium
do
show.
that stadium, yeah.
And he had to amp up the production because doing comedy in a stadium is just a wild thing to do. So you got to give people all the way in the back something to look at so you get some fire.
Wow. You know, I'm hosting a show at Playhouse Square. It's so weird that they mention that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's that one called?
I'm the host for An Evening with Phil Rosenthal.
That's fun.
That's next Thursday night for people who are fans of Everybody Loves Raymond. Hey, Ray, are you going to be there?
No, I can't go, but you should go.
I'm going to be the host and the moderator, yes.
Oh, moderate.
Very exciting. I'll do some Q&A. I'll interview Phil Rosenthal. Somebody Feed Phil is his like travel eating show over there on Netflix. It's very entertaining. And he's in town. He's on the road, and he's doing the Ohio Theater next Thursday night, the 25th. If there are tickets available, you can go to playhousesquare.org. But I will be your host for that.
Look at that.
Rob Schneider got booted. Do you read the Rob Schneider story?
Yeah, I did read this
No.
story, and it seems because he tells a very different story than what was reported.
Now, what did he say?
He said he did a full 50-minute set, and everybody had a
really?
great time.
Oh,
5-0.
Yeah. 50.
Yeah.
50.
What is being reported?
well, that he did the Senate Working Group Holiday Gala.
For
What
$50,000.
Oh, really? 50
Yeah.
grand?
That's what he said in what I read.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Wow.
April.
Well, this happened back in
Yeah, this was a
Oh, it's
while
just
ago.
December,
now getting
yeah.
reported on?
Yeah. I don't know why there's so. We are in a world of instant information. I don't know why this stuff. They go back in October. I don't understand that at all, but whatever. So he was doing. Rob Schneider has painted himself into a corner to some degree. You know, there's some comics who did like a hard pivot right, Jim Brewer, those kinds of guys who, you know, COVID made their brains explode. And so Rob Schneider is one of these guys on Fox News all the time, you know, but then you kind of got to dance with a girl who brung you. And so now you're playing to those people. It's fine, though. You know, they theoretically, they see him and they go, oh, he's funny. Let's have him do our event. And it was at the Waldorf Astoria. Of course, there it's both hoity and toity there in New York.
Where the chicken salad was invented.
Yum.
The Waldorf chicken salad.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that?
With the nuts, yeah.
Yeah, nuts and cranberries, I think.
My grandmother used to make, I've talked about this, my grandmother used to make something called frozen Waldorf salad. But it wasn't like a salad you would freeze. It was like this frozen concoction that had fruit and nuts in it. And
No
it was
chicken.
No chicken. I don't know why she called it that. Maybe because of the nuts and I don't know. That's what it was called. It was probably something passed down to her by her mother, but it was so goddamn good. And she would make it every holiday.
I was picturing freezy pops of chicken salad.
I was thinking more, yeah, like the...
And you'd be forgiven for that because that's what it sounds like.
like the gelatin stuff that they would make back in the 60s.
Like the circle?
Well, it was just, they did a lot of weird stuff with gelatin back in the
Right.
60s and 50s, and it was real gross.
Yeah, horse
My
hooves and things like that. And
My
no,
stepmom would make a gelatin. She called it strawberry salad, and it was like Jello, pretzels.
Oh, yeah,
whipped
we'd have
cream,
that.
Strawberries. That was really good.
That's good stuff, yeah.
I
But
don't know
this
if
was
that's
more
from the
like
70s,
savory
but-
stuff. It would be like peas and carrots
Oh.
and
In Jello?
Jello, yeah.
no.
Look it up.
No.
There's ads for it, like old-fashioned ads.
Because
that
Jello
are,
was new.
yeah, because they're just like, let's just
You're
Jello.
putting tuna
It
fish
was
in
like a
it.
status
Oh
symbol
my
thing, I think,
God.
is what they were trying to make
No,
it seem
was
like.
not.
I swear.
Jello.
What are we going to do with all this tasty gelatin? Yeah, because gelatin was flavorless. So Jello, they were like, oh, it tastes like fruit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So it's not the Jello we have today, where it was like cherry, green.
No,
apple.
just it was clear Jello, but you could put anything in it. So they,
It was very malleable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made a mold.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most. If someone made one of those circle cake, you know what I'm talking about, like the bundt cake.
Yes. Jello mold
shape.
thing. Yeah.
But a Jello mold of tuna salad.
Like there's,
Ew, that
I looked it up.
texture.
There's shrimp and
Come on.
What I do
That
is I
can't
make
be
it with
good.
pineapple juice, whipped cream, and shrimp.
but it's probably just gross because of the consistency of
Texture,
it.
yeah.
The consistency. You don't want Jello around your peas and carrots.
Oh.
My grandmother's frozen Waldorf salad was lemon juice, whipped cream, marshmallows, grapes, pineapple, celery, walnuts. And then you'd freeze that.
See,
and
just
you'd
why
cut
the
it into
celery,
squares. Oh, it was so good. Well, because it would take parts from the salad and then parts not from the salad. There was apples in it, probably a pinch of salt. Oh, I loved it. Anyway, Rob
Yeah.
Schneider at the Waldorf Astoria, where they invented the unfrozen Waldorf salad. These people who were there were not pleased. They say that they stopped him after 10 minutes because people were walking out and he was making raunchy and inappropriate jokes in front of senators, a group of people who've seen this guy on Fox News and probably, this is a real leopards ate my face type situation. They probably thought, oh, he'll be funny and whatever. They said once he started making jokes about people of Asian descent and talking about Korean whorehouses,
Oh, boy.
people started to get up and leave. 150 attendees, everyone who showed up, got an apology email about the Rob Schneider
From who?
set from the person in charge of the event. Because there was a verbal agreement to keep the stand-up set relatively clean, but they said that Rob Schneider disregarded that and dove into his normal jokes. I don't know anything about Rob Schneider's current stand-up set. I don't know what that is comprised of.
When-
I don't, you know.
He
Good.
opened for Adam Sandler when Mary and I went. What was that, 5-6 years ago? It was
was still
drinking, Mary,
drinking.
so you fell asleep.
I fell asleep, but I was awake for Rob Schneider's set,
Yeah,
which is
that's the
worst
part you
of it.
should have slept.
Well,
I
but that
should've
was
slept through
also that was also pre like anti-woke Rob Schneider.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
but it
it
was
still
also
wasn't
still was
good
not
comedy.
great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was the first guy of that group to get on SNL. I don't know how that he went right place, right time. Lauren liked what he was doing. Boy, Rob Schneider.
His
Rob Schneider
characters and stuff have always.
Yeah.
His characters on SNL were always they got over, but I don't think he was ever like really renowned as a stand-up.
People give him a hard time, but Tiny Elvis and making copies, he was the dude who
copies.
blew out of that Sandler Spade Farley thing. Rob Schneider was the one who blew up. There was goddamn making copies T-shirts and Steve Areno and all that stuff. But I was not hip to his stand-up, but that's how he was a stand-up comic. He had the Elvis hair, and I think he was leaning, heavily into that. But yeah, they were none too pleased with what.
and the first Asian American on SNL because he's half Filipino.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have there been many
Schneider.
since? Yeah, Schneider.
Schneider.
No,
you
there's
know,
been one
of
there's
the
been,
Manila Schneiders.
The Bowen Yang has been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty white. Also, Bill sent a picture to the group chat of Jello salads. It's got like olives in it. And
Yeah, it's so
looks
gross.
like pimento loaf,
Mm-hmm.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh
That's so
no!
And then
Now
just
it's time
into-
for Jello salad.
And-
yeah,
and then
that's
just-
super gross.
Shapes. There's just some shapes in there that you're not sure what it is.
That's
Oh,
like those
God.
green squares.
Yeah,
Are
what
those
is that?
crackers?
Maybe.
What was going on with food in the 50s, man?
Well,
You know?
it was.
Alan, you were around. Why don't you tell
Shut
us?
up, Mary. I was not around in the 50s.
You remember when Jello was invented?
No.
How big of a deal was it?
No, I don't.
It was controversial because of all the horses they were killing.
They
Like,
had
that's how we get around.
Uh-huh. Hey, you're murdering our cars for this sweet, sweet confection. The hell's going on over here? Have you tried my strawberry horse?
Horse hooves.
Horse hooves. It was a registered trademark of Kraft Heinz. Jello is now based in Chicago, Illinois. It began in 1897 when Pearl Bixby Waite, who was a guy, Pearl Bixby Waite and his wife May, had made Jello by adding strawberry, raspberry, orange, lemon flavoring to sugar and gelatin. And then the Jello fortune was born. There's no dessert, these old-timey ads, there's no dessert more attractive than Jello.
I beg to differ.
Figuring out that you can use horse hooves for anything else
Yeah, how did they figure that out, by the
Because
Those
way?
are
glue-
bones.
or bones, whatever. But like that's just it'd be like, hey, how much experimenting do you have to do? I guess people had a lot of time back then.
Or if you look at a horse's hoof and you're like, I bet we could grind that up and eat it.
Well, but also,
Like-
a
And at
horse.
the very least, stick some things together.
Right.
My thought is the wild thing about horses is that they're these massive, strong animals, but like if they break a bone, you got to put them down because their legs can't.
Heal.
Yeah, their legs
They're too
can't
heavy.
support that massive weight. We watch a lot of the Incredible Dr. Pole.
I
The
remember-
rural veterinarian guy. Oh, got to put down. He's Dutch, but he lived in Michigan, central Michigan.
I
We got to
remember-
put down the horse
I
because it broke the leg.
I watched like one horse race on TV, and it was the one where a horse flipped out, got its leg caught in a gate, broke its leg, and they had to go to something else because they're like, we have to kill
We
this
gotta
horse.
kill
Yeah,
this horse.
it like ran into a retaining pond
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Well, yeah, whatever it did, it broke its leg, and they're like, this is not what we
Dude,
wanted
they
to
kill 'em all the
happen.
time. Like if they're not winning and stuff. My dad used to take us to the horse track on Northfield, right there. It used to be the only real like gambling hall outside of bingo before casinos and stuff. And people would be shouting things like that. Like if they lost money on a horse, they'd be like, "Turn that POS into glue."
Yeah,
Like,
send the glue factory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grind his head. Grind them up. We don't need them anymore. Like it's like crazy. I'm like, listen, man, nobody made you bet your mortgage.
Well, yeah,
on
your
this horse.
return on investment on a horse is either going to be amazing or zero. So
Right.
you end up putting it down. And back old timey, they're like, well, we're not going to waste this animal, so we got the meat. That's 90% of it. And what if we do the hooves? And they go, what about Jello?
They don't even want to sire them if they're not winning races. I mean, as far as I know about horse racing, is that it's like if you're not a winner, we're just gonna kill you, man. You can't win races. We don't want your
We can't stud you, yeah.
slow sperm, you know.
Yep. Does Jello actually have horses' hooves in it? There's an article. They say the question is a little more complicated. Gelatin is primarily made of collagen, which is a protein. And that is most prevalent in animals and is found primarily in bones and skin of horses. The one part of the animal that doesn't contain gelatin is the hoof.
Oh,
Because that's like their giant fingernail. That's keratin.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So
You-
bones, okay.
You can't extract collagen from keratin, but it can be turned into glue,
Yeah.
which is where your glue comes from there. That's why I've asked, in lieu of my body being donated to science upon my death, I have asked that my fingernails be donated to Elmer's.
That's not a lot of. They're not gonna get a lot out of it.
I didn't say they were going to get a lot out of it, but I got to do my
But
part.
just a little bit.
Hey, I got to take a break here. If you're on hold, I will get you on the way back. If you want to send a text, 35192, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have.
Just tell me to play the Alan